by that, it's going to be easier for you to reach out through JIRA on those people with that capability to assist you on that manner. And I think the better way of looking at it is, if there's going to be an epic synonymous to what you're doing, or part of what they're doing is what you need to be done, right? You can definitely collaborate and give out cards, so to speak, right, to be able to accomplish that said epic or said task.
Yeah, it's like having a store where everything is seen, and you are now picking out things or items that you need from the shelf, or sharing
Correct.
the items from the shelf.
At the end of the day, it's still about discipline, really. I mean, whatever
Yeah.
tool is put in front of you, but if it doesn't get populated, or things are still,
Yeah.
documented sporadically in random, I guess, tools, or
Or
like
if
an
you put
Yeah.
email,
in
it's not
garbage,
gonna
if you
work.
put in
Yeah,
That's why.
garbage information,
garbage
it's
in,
garbage
garbage
out.
out. Yeah.
That's why the Scrum Master's role is very critical to this, because they're going to be the doing the sorry pero the policing, so to speak, right? So
Mm-hmm.
of these
Yep, yep.
activities.
Right. Just a question, Chris, because I understand the Scrum lead um, should be very well versed in the principles of Agile, should be the subject matter expert of Agile in the team. Do we have a pool of Scrum of Agile trained Scrum leads
We're
that can
I'll
help
be
that?
honest, we're in the infancy stage of
All right.
migrating
Okay.
into agile. So if we're going to be
Okay.
looking for like real experts in
Mm,
becoming scrum masters, I don't think we're going to be able to really pinpoint that. But what we're trying to do is build that capability internally within the team, build that experience,
Yeah.
as we have, right? I think
Like
yep, sorry, Shells.
Yeah, like last year, Chris, right? And we started with this. Well, we all probably attended just one agile session, but we just jumped right in anyway.
mm,
So I think between your team and my team, we probably actively embrace it. And George, he'd have all his I guess stand-ups with NNIT, and they were actively using this. So Phil, I think if there is one you can
And Leia coming from their previous parang
was
works and roles, right?
yeah.
Their previous life, they've been doing parang Scrum Master type of roles whenever they roll out project within the
Yeah.
systems team and the vertical. So yeah, so
See,
that's why
Marty, that's
yeah.
what he was doing before he moved to us. So,
I don't think it is in that level. Is this a is there a certification for this as a
what
Scrum
do you
lead?
mean not work? Diba? Because
Okay.
There
yeah,
is,
There
there
they,
is.
is a
they, they, they,
certification for
and you
Scrum
guys took that,
Masters.
right?
Yeah.
yeah.
They
So
took that.
I'm sorry. Yeah. The context of my ask is really opening up our. I'll use the language now, opening up our capabilities and
Center of
our
practice.
ethics. Correct, Shallow.
Yeah,
Like
I
a
absolutely.
community of practice. Like there may be some non-GBS specific talent that we have that can really add value in some of these initiatives. Is perhaps where I'm leading to, but perhaps that's a digression from your presentation, Chris.
No,
But
it's
yeah,
not
just yeah, yeah.
really, like,
Okay, yep.
because this is meant to like open up that possibility, right? So say for example, Shello's doing this project, things are just not cutting it. Then we reach out to the right group, and I think, to your point, Phil, having that, pseudo list, if you will, right? Would definitely help us out, knowing that we can reach out to Scrum A, Scrum Master A, Scrum Master B from different groups. So yeah, that's absolutely warranted at this point. So yeah, really good.
Thank you.
I know that Bong had a question a while ago. How would this work with external teams? I mean, no, other streams like finance or HR who are not yet in this platform. But unfortunately, I was kicked out
Yeah.
of team. So what was the
No,
answer
no,
there?
flexibility, right? So we use the old ways of working if they're not yet transitioned to agile, right? But if they are, we can utilize this. So gives us two
Mm.
avenues to operate in, if that makes sense, Deeds.
Yep, does it does.
Cool.
So it would be good to have one platform so it doesn't,
Yeah.
not taxing on our
Yeah.
minds.
If I can share, so like the whole year last year, we've been using MS Teams, but we've been doing agile for everything that we were doing, uh, anything and everything. So what happens is that let's say the owner of the project, they actually take responsibility in registering I guess updates in MS Teams for the streams that are not yet on Agile, like finance or
Right.
HR. You just do it like that. But again, it's the discipline of doing it, because obviously the updates that they get, from all the projects are either, from face to face, sorry, from virtual meetings or from emails. But if you just register it there, then you keep track
Yeah.
of it.
So what we do is we still keep cards.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Cards.
We
Yes,
still keep
cards.
cards, keep it within Jira still.
Sign it.
And then,
Yeah.
we update it ourselves because they don't have, that capability yet. But as long as it's within our view, we get to work on that discipline, as what you said, Shella, right? So
Yeah.
good
And
practice.
if I may just ask Chris, it's the same. I think visibility, if they have been utilizing MS Teams, and if you are doing by a Kanban and you're assigning tasks, it's the same with Jira. So as you notify people on that
Mhm.
subtask, um, well, approaching the timelines, right? If they needed additional help and support, so you would be able to update it on the sprint given time,
Mm.
and they would be notified via email too. So yeah, it's the same, I think, functionality. But the beauty of it, as what Chris has mentioned, is it's a one-stop shop. But to myself and Liz, who were part of process and platforms teams before. Yeah, you manage, you initiate the project, you create the Jira card, and you create the subtasks, sub stories, and then you follow through, and you just make sure that you have regular catch-ups to check the deliverables. And you may be dealing with people you never dealt with before, but you do that skills assessment that you have the right people that deliver the outcome. And yeah, their team leaders or one of will be notified as well if you tag them again. So yeah, I think it's good.
And I think from my standpoint, Phil, I'll be working closely with you, considering that that capability opportunity that we have, right? So I think it's something that's worth having in our view as we go forward with this, so that we can identify resources internally or externally, right? So
Thank
I'll
you. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. That's reassuring because I think I'm the least experienced on this in this group. So thank you.
no probs. Thanks, Phil. Any further questions on this? Think we're good. Phase two will be, we'll be setting it up by tail end or mid Q1. We're going to be talking further around the roles and responsibilities. And to Shello's point, we'll definitely make sure that we have a touch point, regular touch point on this, so we measure adoption properly. So yeah, no questions.
Cool.
Move on. Let's move
So
on.
yeah, let's move on. And it's good that we're having this active discussions. I feel that everyone's pretty much excited on yeah, how we will be helping each other in this journey for being agile. And yep, let's move on. So our next session will be actually a walkthrough. So yep. So here I've sent the initial the links a while ago. So hopefully everyone was able to access Jira or was able to request access
If you
for
have
Jira.
access,
Yeah.
please go through. If not, request access from the link. We'll be working in the back end, Leah, Liz, and myself, to make sure that accesses would be granted. So if you don't have access, we'll have TJ walk us through. But if you do have, maybe if you want to play around in the background, please, by all means.
Yep. Cool. So yeah, so in order for us to access the or Jira and go to our GBS Philippines project board, so we just need to go to this URL, which is the Jira Tools .telstra.com. And again, if you can't access or you want to request, you just need to go to the link that was shared a while ago. And then once you're logged in, this would be the first page or view that you'll be able to see. And then the next thing you need to do is go into projects or click into projects. So all of the available projects or shared projects to you will be visible here. And then for recent projects, you can go to the GBS PH. Okay, so that's how you access it. Or you can go directly by the link that was shared a few minutes ago or a while ago for the GBS Philippines Jira page. So, any questions on this part? Very straightforward. Okay. So, next is now that we have visibility or we were able to go to the GBS Philippines page. So let's start now on creating our first issue for our project. So mainly the stories or issues are the main backbone of our task that we're doing. So we just need to go to the create. So if you see it here, it's on the top right hand corner of the page. And then there will be another pop-up window that will be appearing. So here, you'll see here it says create an issue. So here, it would automatically defaulted to your project, which is where you created or where you click that create button and just select a story. So there are multiple options here that you can see. There are stories, epics, capabilities, and those terminologies that we have discussed a while ago. But for now, what we will be doing is creating a story. And again, we will have that in depth training to further understand how we will be linking and creating those other issue types. And then once you select the story or story, you will enter the title or a brief summary of the story or your task. So let's say you want to create a task related to one GBS. So maybe we can put that as collaboration with key program leaders. So you can put that as one part of or the part of your title, and then put here a brief description or details of that activity that needs to be done or completed. Then, after you put down the description, you will be entering the parameters or the task that would be your acceptance criteria for this story to be tagged as resolved or completed. And then next, you would need to select who is the responsible person for this task. So you can assign it to yourself if you're the main responsible person, or you can assign it to any one of your team members. Any questions on this first six steps? Okay, so
Just
next we'll go. Yep.
sorry, Tej, just to add in on this, to have for us to have like a common terms whenever we write the description and acceptance criteria. We will be providing you a template as well um, during the deep dive training.
Thanks, Liz. Okay, so let's move on. And then here on the next part, this is only on the one window, but you can just scroll down and then you will see here the priority. So it's defaulted at should have, but there are four numbers or four priorities there that you can select, which is must have, should have, could have, and those other terms. But for this, we normally select the should have, but basing it on or depending on the priority of the task at hand, you can choose one as the highest, two is the um, must have, and then the other is less priorities, three and four. And then step eight is you can link now your story to the associated capability or epic for this issue. So here, if you scroll this down, there will be a list of all epics that was created, and then you can simply assign that there. So since this is part of a story for the epic for GBS1, so if we have created an epic link for GBS1, then we can assign it there so that it would show then as a sub story or a story within that epic. And the next is providing the target dates and the end dates. So you should put there when is your target start date to initiate this story or this task, and when should it end or be completed. And this is a if needed or required, is in providing RAG comments. So mainly this is the red, amber, and green. So if this story is on track, then you can put it on green. Amber, if this is some issues being managed and needs close monitoring for completion. And red would be serious issues in activities or dates that needs to be done. So there would be you should enter or put in a recovery plan as well, so that your Scrum Master or the one managing the board will be able to see what is being done to for this certain story or activity. And then the last step is we just need to click create. And there, congratulations, you are able to create your first story for your JIRA for the JIRA board. So again, we will be having future sessions to further discuss this in detail, and also have those one-on-one so that everyone will be fully supported when we are creating stories, linking them to the right epics or capabilities. So any questions on this team? Right. So if there is no more question, I'll be passing it on to Liz to further walk us through on how we are managing reports or how we will be able to view the reports in JIRA. So Liz, would you like to share your screen?
So while Liz is sharing, so we understand this may sound a bit foreign at first, but again, so Leia, Liz, and TJ will be assisting you guys. So like to answer questions, to have separate walkthroughs aside from from our scheduled ones. So please feel free to reach out to the team if you have questions and concerns.
Right. Yep. Go ahead. Distract. Yeah. So in terms of structure, there are set of things that have to be defined. This linking stuff, a bit of technical detail, which we'll be sharing as well to your nominated SME. So Bong, if it's you, that's going to be the Scrum lead for the team of IT, then we are more than happy to share to you how you can get into this view. So everybody
Should
or each of the team
should
would have this view.
should we have everyone, Liz? So just throwing it out there. Should we have everyone have the same level of access so that we can view uh, this particular initiative to its full extent?
Yeah, I think that's doable. Everyone just need to. There is a certain mini course that everyone have to complete. It's like a qualifier for you to be able to get the structure view. So
All right.
we'll be able to cover that up with the team.
We'll
Yeah,
we'll check with you separately. So, Bo, maybe it's just access needs to be
it's
granted
just
kind of
access.
issue. Yeah. So we'll reach
Mhm.
out individually to the team so that we can sort out what access needs to be granted for who.
Mm-mm.
But yeah,
Yep. So
thanks
I'm
for
showing
raising, Bo.
this. All right. So I'm just sharing this just to quickly show you how it will really how Jira will show us how we are progressing on each of the capability in a high level view. So again, capability, right? Down to the stories that each of the groups have created, everybody would be able to see if they are at green, they to what progress they are in on their specific stories. Right. Now, moving on to the report, right? So I'll show you guys how we are doing it on our Verin team, on our own project or on our own JIRA. So as of this moment for GBS Philippines, we don't have any reports yet available because we're still again on in the embedding phase of it. But if we go to our own JIRA, GBS Marine team, we just need to go on the report area here on the left side of the panel, and it automatically shows you all the completed issues that you have for that specific period, or all the issues that you have the issues that you have not completed. This simply allows you to understand if you still have a couple of items to cover, and if you're completing just minimal task according to what you were planning. So again, it's like for you to know and to have something to reflect on if you're performing on the if your performance is still on the right track. There are other type of reporting here. So let's say we want to see the epic burn down. So when we say epic burn down, it's like a visibility of how fast or how quick you were completing your task on the specific epic that you have created. Um, they're all So, sorry. So the ones that I'm showing now is the sprint report. So in GBS Berlin team, we actually follow the sprint report because we are reviewing our deliverables every end of sprint, and that's why this is my default page. So this shows you the sprint that we have for the last sprint, which is sprint 5. Around that the dates was between May 4, 24 up until June 9. And as you can see, uh, we have completed only 6 um, tasks, and majority or some of it are still open at the moment. And the reason behind that is because we've encountered some um blockers. But how we reflect on this is we use the retrospective time. right? So using the retrospective time, this is where we usually discuss how we will improve in terms of addressing our backlogs, how we will make sure that um, each of the cards that we have created are going to happen on the specific time that we have set it up. Um, Apart from the sprint report, we also have the epic burn down. So again, this is more of like the entire epic that you have created for your uh for your team. So let me pull up the AQM epic in here. It's all right. Okay. It's not loading up. GPT deliverable. Sorry. Not sure what's happening. Sorry. Not sure what happened. Okay. So epic report, right? Again, there are different types of report in JIRA, but it will depend on how you are managing your JIRA project. So as like for example for GBT, again we uses the a sprint report as part of our rhythm. But as we go along in applying the reporting for our team, we can decide if we wanted to have a single type of reporting in each of the group, so we can have a standardized level of view. Hello.
Yep, we can hear
We
you.
can still hear you,
Yeah.
Liz. Yep.
Sorry, I think I thought I'm losing. I'm cutting off earlier. All right. So now what I'm showing is another type of report, which is epic report. So this time, it is targeted to the specific epic that you have set. So for example, for Viril team, our epic is deliver AQM for GFS, right? So deliver on automated quality monitoring for GFS. All of the activities that we are doing that will complete and deliver this epic, or that will deliver AQM for GFS, is being tracked down in this report. So as what you can see in summary, we have a total of 39 tasks created. Those tasks and stories are contributing again to deliver the AQM for GFS. And out of 39, we have completed 27. And out of the 39, we still have 12 unestimated, or 12 items on our to be completed. So at the moment, those 12 items that we have in there open are the ones that is currently on our active sprint, which is about to end by next week. So what our goal is to make sure that by next week, the remaining 12 items that we have will be closed down as well. And this status report will also show you what are those tasks that we have created. And again, gives you a visibility, what are the things that you have done, what are the activities that each of the group or each of the members are completing. And these are also it will also show you the incomplete or unestimated issues, or these are the ones that's still in our backlog and to be completed within the defined sprint.
And I think in addition to what Liz has mentioned, you can distinguish between the epic report and the sprint report, which she showed earlier by it depends on which audience you're trying to provide update, right? And and the sprint report and the timeline. So if sprint report only shows you the activity that is created to be delivered on a specific 2 week, say for example, that's what the timeline that Liz has created as a scrum master. So those activities are the ones that you can see below with their statuses and where they are assigned and what issue type they are, and how critical they should be per priority. So you have those columns on the top of these issues or on that detail. But on the epic report, it's more around if this is what are the activities and stories, right? Under those epics, if this is a year end of year performance update, and you are sharing it to the likes of the one our stakeholders or other group that we provide update outside GBS. I think that's a one view report that you can utilize. But yeah, it's just depends on what the intent of the update you're providing and who your audience is. So yeah, usually the team would be using sprint report for the activities to chase deliverables and actions. But yeah, hope
Yeah.
that helps.
So
Thanks.
again,
Yep.
yeah, thanks, Leah. So again, it might I'm sorry, it might be all over the places, but again, once you go into your dedicated JIRA, you will then get the feel of understanding of what reports will fit you or will fit us as a group. um in the reporting as well, if you want to go back to the history of the previous activities or previous sprint that you have completed, or the previous epics that you have completed, you also have that area here.
And some reports would be really dependent on what you want to view, what you want to, what are you
Yes.
trying
Correct.
to solve for and accomplish,
Yep.
right? So I think from this standpoint, so Liz is actually showcasing what they felt is necessary for us to report around the variant system.
Mm.
But once we plug in your, the epics and the stories from each capability, we should be able to understand what we want to project and present and report on. So I just sent an email just now
Right.
around the delegated support for you guys to be able to assist in terms of, getting access, plugging in, the activities, the cards, the epics within Jira, and then Liz would be supporting us overall in terms of how we should be able to represent the report that we want as we go forward.
Mm. Mhm. And lastly, this particular report shows up also every end of our sprint, or let's say every end of the delivery that you've set for your team. So let's say IT team set that they will deliver an application in a month. Then we can end that month, a month of sprint, and then generate the report how you're tracking on that month, after that month, and then create a report on your on how you perform for that specific period.
And again, boils
Uh,
down to the discipline, like what Shella mentioned. So yeah, you can preset some reports, but still, reports would be reports. But if we're not really following set timelines and completing activities, as how we should, then yeah, it really boils down on the discipline side of things.
yep, that's right. And I also just wanted to share. So remember earlier, there is an area here where you can set for retrospectives. So how we do it is we also have sample retrospective template. So this is how it will look like, right? During the retrospective, it's going to be a discussion between the Scrum lead and also the entire group, product owner, Scrum lead, and the team members. Um, Everyone is encouraged to participate in terms of identifying what did we do well, and then what should we have done better. So some of it are these are the things that the three of us in Verin team have completed, as well as after identifying this, also we have to make sure we have a we put an action into it. You know, addressing what we have identified as a challenge and opportunity, we have to put an action in that. And that's where we also have this area of action. So example is, you know, time duration every meeting, we have to commit to that, find the standard definition of agile process, create more assigned cards to external group, and subtask closing. So these are the um, practices as well, though, that would be valuable for each of the team.
Good. Thanks, Liz.
There you go. So again, um, more of it will make really more sense as we practice and actually using the platform itself already. That's it for me.
So,
Or if you have any
Teach.
question,
So thanks, Liz, for sharing those views and reports. And yeah, I know it would be helpful for everyone in in organizing and having that views in how we will be able to complete our task at hand. So this is just a quick summary or a recap of what we have discussed today. Uh, so JIRA is the common system that will help us manage tasks and projects by simply automating all the elements of task management, breaking down our goals and objectives by smaller tasks for easier delivery and monitoring, defining our priorities for us to easily pivot our plans and adapt to the ongoing changes within our space and also for the business. So team breakdown and what would be our key responsibility for each task at hand. And also we have had the walkthrough on how to access JIRA, create issue and stories, and the reporting. And then for our next step, what's next? So we will be getting the names of individuals who will be our agile ways of working champions within each teams. So this will have the additional tools training and also additional sessions
I
for
think
them to lead them, the entire team for using agile or Jira. Yes, go ahead, uh,
no, I
Chris.
think from the conversation earlier, so we wouldn't want to. I think we're gonna be discussing it with teams instead of individuals or subject matter experts, right? So
Yeah.
that we spread the skills and capability in one go, and then the team can actually take turns, as Shella pointed out earlier. Maybe using time as a limit, or maybe using functions or projects as the limit there. But yeah, so not individuals, but we're gonna be doing it per team now.
Yeah. Okay. And then there, Chris just sent an email. So we will be supporting the everyone in user profiles and any questions that you have in terms of for Jira. And then those in-depth training sessions. Again, we will need to further understand how we will be able to sync the Kanban and Scrum board management in terms of individual teams. And also, something to look forward to is the agile ways of working session for the phase two and the next succeeding sessions. So there, thank you everyone. Will there be any other questions, clarifications, or feedback from the group? Okay, thank you. So we are at a time. So thank you everyone for attending
I think we're good.
and having all ears. And yeah, looking forward for our next sessions
you.
and journey.
Yep. Again, please feel free to reach out for additional support on this one. Things may sound and look foreign at this point, but we feel that this is a good way forward for everyone. So really appreciate your time today, guys. Thank you. Keep safe,
Thank you
everyone.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Thanks
everyone.
everyone.
Thanks,
Cheers.
everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Cheers.